Here's a memorable studio moment back in the day when I very first was starting. We were very first putting music together, very first making beats, and I was really getting into it, and I was 14-hour a day in it. I was not sleeping I was waking up making beats every second, just so into it. 4-track in the room, keyboard, just in my bedroom. We're bumping, not really that loud, but you know, enough, over and over and over, repetitively, day after day after day.
All day, every day.
So the neighbor lives behind me. So my room is in the back and there's a fence here, but the neighbor behind me is complaining to the other neighbor over here about this music because they're older people, right? And they're complaining to they're about 60 or so. They're complaining to the 40-year-olds, hey, what's going on with all this music over there? This is crazy. So we're making music. The dude will come over and just knock on the door. Boop, 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 boop. Yo, turn the music down. What's going on? I hear this all day and all night, and I can't take it anymore. Blah, 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 blah. Right? So I answer the phone, or answer the door, and I'm like, hey, dude, I don't want to, you know, I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make music, you know, you doing your thing over there. I don't want to get into it, you know what I mean? So I'm like, okay, I'll try to turn it, because what am I going to do? So he's in the other room still with the music, so he didn't really know what happened the first time this happened. So I'm like, cool, whatever. And then I go in there, and we're like, oh, we got to turn it down, because the guy said, and he's like, fuck that, we don't turn shit down. You live this property like that. I'm like, well, what the fuck? Like, he told me to do that, right? So then probably, I don't know, maybe a day or two goes by. Dude comes back again. This time he answers the door because he was just happened to be by the door. So he answers the door. Dude tries to say some shit, and he's just like, man, we'll do whatever the hell we want to do over here. I forget the exact words. Yeah. In a nutshell, fuck you, bitch. So the dude goes back home. Next thing I know, he calls my mom, bro. He calls my mom and says some shit about, this is some other weird ass racist shit.
Basically.
So he calls my mom and says, did you know your son has Mexicans and blacks sagging their pants over there at that house? This is Humboldt, so this is super small town weird ass shit. This is back in the day. That gets me, that gets my mom. She's like not like that at all. You know, my parents raised me, person's a person, blah, 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 blah. So she's like, yo, that neighbor's tripping. And I was like, yes, he is. So the next thing that happens is I get a letter in the mail that says, because we keep playing music, fuck them. I get a letter in the mail, I get subpoenaed to court for music ordinance, whatever they want to call it. So they took me to court. I had to go get a lawyer. We went to court. We had to get on the stand. They told the stories. It was crazy. They documented when they heard music and shit like that. The funniest thing is I lost the fucking case. And they told me the neighbors cannot hear music beyond their property line for, I forget the amount of time. I think it was 3 years.
3 years.
If they heard any music from the fence, if they just went to the fence, put their ear there and heard any music, I could go to jail, be arrested. I'm like, what the fuck? This is the craziest shit ever. So that's pretty much, to me, that shit was crazy. Because I don't know where that happens.
The best part about this story is we just kept playing music because they didn't have a right to search the house. So we would play music and they won in court. So then they'd call the police and say they're violating the restraining order. And the cops would come and they'd be like, can I speak to Josh Lederman? And I'd say, he's not here. And they'd be like, okay, well, we got complaints about the music and you have this restraining order against Mr. Joshua Lederman, and so he has to turn the music down. I was like, well, he's not here, so I don't know what to tell you. And then the cops would turn around and leave. So they won in court, and they could have arrested him for 3 years, but we just kept playing music anyway, and every time they came to the door, I just answered and said he wasn't here, and they didn't have no right to search the property because they didn't have no search warrant, and he just stayed in there making music, and I would answer the door every time. So fuck them.
If my brother stabbed me in my head, what the fuck is going on to make your blood stab you in the back of your head?
Opening acts said, hey man, he put his hand on my shoulder. He said, hey, I need you to take this really calmly. So he goes, Maurice is gone. And I was like, what?
Back when tax bracket shit was way past any practical math I did, now I'm halfway past half to a capitalist. 3/4 there, yeah, to the rap top of the list. Now I'm really getting my dividends and sapping a bit.
If you're on a nice ass, push ass bus and while you're chilling, you're just, bow, killing cockroaches. You know, and you know roaches come out at night. So when you turn the lights off, the roaches is crawling on your body.